Namaskar, everyone. Welcome to our show in Bodhi television. Our world is covered with half of the woman population, and there is always concern about empowering women for the peace, development, and so on. Today, we have very great opportunity to welcome Dr. Christie Chang, who has been served already in Sakyadhita International as a president in 2009 to 2013. Let's welcome her in our studio. Madam, welcome in our studio. It's a very great opportunity to welcome you here.
Thank you. Namaste.
How you have been here in Nepal this time?
Oh, I totally enjoy being in Nepal. I feel like I'm home with so many wonderful sisters and brothers like you. People are so kind, so welcoming. So I truly appreciate being in Nepal.
Any other programs you have attended here? I heard you are connected with the Sakyadhita International and Sakyadhita Nepal also. There were some programs. Could you summarize your visit with this?
Sure. Actually, our visit this time was due to the invitation by this ninth, this Nepal International Tourism Expo. It was last year, actually, in Kushinaga, where we also met. I was there upon the invitation by this ABTO, Association of Buddhist Tour Operators, had this platform to actually facilitate the pilgrimage operators to network and to exchange ideas. And so I was invited there first last year. When I was still the joint president of International Buddhist Confederation based in Delhi. So through there, there was this team from NITE, which I just mentioned, wanting to do this expo in Kathmandu. So they asked me whether I can say a few good words about this NITE. I said, I would be very happy to go to Kathmandu because I never had a chance to make it yet. I had several invitations to Kathmandu before the pandemic, but the pandemic came, so I never, managed to come. So I'm very happy to use this opportunity to come to Kathmandu for the first time. I only was in Lumbini, but Kathmandu really is my first time, my first visit. And I'm also trying to maximize my visit by, connecting with my Sakyadhita Nepal sisters.
Mm-hmm. While coming to our studio, you bought the holy statue of Green Tara.
Yes.
Is it connected with your practice, Buddhist practice in Taiwan also?
Well, yes, this Green Tara is a gift that I received just this afternoon, right before our interview. After the night event, of course, I had to visit my Sakyadhita Nepal sisters. So they warmly welcomed me, and then we had quite some wonderful exchanges. I gave a little talk too, and at the end of the program, I received this beautiful Green Tara from my Sakyadhita Nepal sisters, and I also happened actually to bring with me the Green Tara from Taiwan. And some of my sisters said that, wow, they never knew that Green Tara was also known to the Taiwanese Buddhists. I actually learned about the Green Tara through the Sakyadhita conferences. So the Green Tara, because this is the female Buddha, so of course, is very much closely connected to the female practitioners of Buddhism. So I always keep the Green Tara in my heart and mind, and I have brought with me this Green Tara Tanka, modern Green Tara Tanka from Taiwan, just
Tanka
to show.
from Taiwan.
Yeah, modernized. Yes, and this is very easy for me to carry around, And also because I participate in many international Buddhist conferences, I always like to present this as a gift. I even gave this in interfaith dialogue. I presented one to Pope Francis in Vatican even. I think the green thala is universal. So if you don't mind, I would like to share this with you too. So the green thala. This is the, green thala, like I said, universal. So this is the Taiwanese presentation of the green thala. And with that backdrop of a tear of compassion, we know the green thala emerged out of the tear of compassion from Chenrezig, Avalokiteshvara. And in Chinese we say Guan Yin. And she's very much adored. I always like to share, especially with children, when I show this, I said, Chenrezig, despite of her manifestation with thousands of arms and eyes, she wanted to be able to, reach out to help sentient beings. Still, sentient beings are boundless, too many. So she had that drop of tear of compassion, and from those tears there emerged the green tara, the taras, who said that we will become your arms and eyes as well. So I was sharing with my Sakyadhita sisters of Nepal. I said, we are all like green taras, sitting like this posture, ready to take action, right? One foot in meditation, practicing wisdom. The other foot ready to stand up, and one hand in this posture, or sometimes holding a lotus, symbolizing pure heart, pure mind, right? The other hand reaching out, ready to receive, to help all sentient beings. So, of course, it's very closely connected to my also personal belief. We are doing all this because we want to be there for the sentient beings, and we want world peace through this. Thank you. And I would like to offer this to the Bodhi TV station for what you do. You really, I'm so impressed to learn you are running 24 hours, the only Buddhist TV channel for Nepal.
Thank you for nice words. Your appreciation is very great for us.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Yes. Should I put it here?
Okay.
And is this good? Om Dali Tu Le Soha. Om Dali Tu Le Soha. Om Dali Tu Le Soha. Om Dali Tu Le Soha.
Madam, you have already served as the president of Sakyadhita International.
Yes.
And we know you are still connected, always associated with this organization.
Yes. Yes.
Could you explain us about the role to the community, role of Sakyadhita to the community, to the world, for women empowerment, or in a Buddhist way, or whatever, what Sakyadhita is doing?
Yes. Sakyadhita is a very unique organization. Sorry about that. By now, it has become the largest Buddhist women's community. And we know that, of course, the Buddha has always, teaching about all beings, have the same Buddha nature, have the same potential to achieve Buddhahood. However, our society, our culture sometimes have not really offered women a voice, or even sometimes like equal access to education in the past. Of course, we know the situation has improved a lot. However, it was because of also like Sakyadhita, throughout the 30-some years of efforts, gathering, bringing women together, sharing, and then encouraging, supporting each other, so that we are able to see, for example, the bhikkhuni ordination in the Sangha. There was no bhikkhuni ordination in the Theravada tradition, not in the Vajrayana tradition. However, only in the Mahayana tradition, right? Mahayana Chinese. However, through Sakyadhita's efforts, now we have the bhikkhuni ordination, bhikkhuni, I should say that, bhikkhuni ordination in Theravada, right? And we also had the very first bhikkhuni ordination in Vajrayana tradition in Bhutan 2 years ago on this very day, June 21st. This afternoon, when I was signing, I was checking into the temple before giving the talk. June 21st, I was reminded this is the very day 2 years ago that finally in Bhutan, with the support of the royal family, because today is the Queen Mother, Her Majesty, the Queen Mother of Bhutan's birthday, and also with the J Kempo's, support. So the Bhutan Nuns Foundation was able to put together this bhikkhuni ordination for a group of 144 nuns in Bhutan 2 years ago. So I think Sakyadhita really has work from behind to empower, in this case, the monastic women, and also lay women as well. Like, for example, myself, I have grown up pretty much with the Sakyadhita conferences. Yeah, I, didn't know so much about the international situation and then also the women's conditions, Buddhist women's conditions, until I became part of the Sakyadhita team. So I literally grew up with the Sakyadhita, International, and I also got to meet all these wonderful, very inspiring Buddhist women, lay and monastic practitioners in all different traditions from different parts of the world. So I stay completely inspired, and then I'm very much committed, no matter what role I take. Although I step down as the president, still I continue to support in whichever way I can.
Do you remember any hard time while working in all over the world? And what is the situation in developing countries and developed countries?
Yes, of course that in developing countries, because the Sakyadhita conferences, take place every 2 years in different countries, right? Different places. So we managed to learn about a different situation. The greatest challenges I had was when I was still the president of Sakyadhita International. We had to hold our conference in Vaishali, India, 2013. It's a very significant place for Buddhist women because that's where the Buddha's stepmother, Mahaprajapati, became, ordained. But in Vaishali, it kind of stayed in old ages. I remember having, to go and ask the police station to please, install a street light for our participants. There were still no street lights. So the police officers were kind enough and said that, okay, if you buy the lights, we will help you install. And the infrastructure was not really, available yet. Still, we managed to experience the very challenging situation of old days. And the developed countries, for sure, like the most recent conference in Korea last year, it was in the COEX, the very state-of-the-art facility, everything was readily available. So for me, however, wherever we are, I think the most important thing is that we remember our original intention wherever we are, whatever challenges there may be, there are still challenges no matter what, you know. All we could do is to take every opportunity as, you know, the opportunity to practice the Dharma, the Buddha Dharma. We learn so much, we benefit so much from the Buddha's teachings, and the teachings are for everyday use. We just have to be there and then take that as an opportunity to practice, and that's how we benefit from the teaching. So even if I'm, you know, these days I'm not as much involved in organizing the Sakyadhita events, I'm out here in the tourism expo, you know, events. I feel like I'm doing exactly the same thing. You know, I want to be here, able to connect people, to bridge worlds, and to benefit all.
So Sakyadhita aims to share the Buddha's teachings only, or it is concerned with other social activities and other activities of women also?
Yes, of course. You know, like we are there to basically, Sakyadhita is like a platform. We bring women together from different culture, different traditions, and Buddhist women do everything. You know, social engagement, charity, and you know, like we have so many wonderful women models, role models, in every, you know, all walks of life actually. Yeah, they are doing so much to benefit, you know, the world. So Sakyadhita's role has been, you know, there to encourage, to empower, and also that can be a very good educational opportunity for all, opening eyes, opening heart and mind to meet sisters from around the world and to enable them to network. So, and that's why I'm here too. You know, my Sakyadhita Nepal sister managed to connect me with the Bodhi TV for this wonderful opportunity.
How you make some remarks about the condition of Sakyadhita Nepal?
I think Sakyadhita Nepal is doing great. I'm really impressed. I'm very proud to see my Sakyadhita Nepal sisters working so closely together. You know, they really, you know, are my raising my green Tara. The moment they heard about my joining, you know, the expo event, they were ready. They were already preparing for my arrival. And after the event, they just received me, and then they were just so kind and preparing everything. They even had the very first newsletter, fresh from the stove. I don't have it with me, but I was very impressed to see our group photo taken just 2 days ago. It was already in their newsletter. So I'm very happy to see my Sakyadhita Nepal sisters, very excellent, you know, work together.
In a Buddhist perspective, what do you see? Is there still any problem or challenge in empowering women all over the world?
Of course, well, I think the challenges will always be there. After you overcome one, there may emerge another. Okay? Like sometimes I just get, wow, why is this happening? You know, I couldn't believe that there are still challenges like this or that. And I would make comments like, I like to speak to my very good friend and teacher, who is Jetsuma Tenzin Palmo. After I stepped down as the president of Sakyadhita, it was Jetsuma Tenzin Palmo who succeeded as the leader. I think she's a great leader. She spent 12 years meditating in a cave of snow, a British bhikkhuni. Anyway, I would say, Jetsuma, why is this happening? And she would say, what do you expect, my dear? It is samsara. And of course, you know, if you are just meditating in a cave, you are very relaxed, you are very, you know, serene, you are in peace. The moment you're out of the cave, the world, they are full of challenges, one after another, right? So what we could do is to make sure that we stay aware and we bring out the Dharma like I mentioned just now, using, maximizing every opportunity to practice.
As a worldly life,
Yes.
there are, of course, problems, challenges. Could you specify what are the main challenges while working with the woman and in the process of empowering?
Yes, yes. Well, women face challenges, more challenges still in our world, because I think, again, what do you expect? You know, throughout thousands of years, it has been like men more in the center, right? Men more in power. So women have been less paid attention to. Women's voices have been more ignored. They don't really have a voice. I mean, not even in the Buddha scripture sometimes. But now, actually, I think, of course, the awareness is increasing. Women, the key is education, for sure. So these days, as women are, receiving higher education, they are really like getting better, treatment, better access to everything. Still, there's a hidden ceiling. Women still have to make extra efforts, I would say. And another thing I have also noticed myself, I mean, of course, like life after life, right? Sometimes, who knows, maybe you were a woman, I were a man, maybe, right? So we still keep all those habits with us. And I have a feeling, like I'm more tomboy-like, actually. I grew up playing with boys. I sometimes didn't even feel I'm a woman or something. I think women did not have as many experiences working together as men. Of course, that women are very in much harmony, like working on those like kitchen thing, but the experience of being in power is rather new for women. That's how I feel. Because I think your question is like, any challenges of working on the women empowerment. Sometimes women are not as confident, and women are not. They're always caring for others. Sometimes they don't focus on themselves, and that creates some challenges when they work together in power. I don't know whether I'm being clear enough.
While talking about women empowerment,
Yeah.
doesn't it sound sometimes like gender biased?
It is gender, a lot of gender bias, in our world still. I think, like I mentioned, it's for thousands of years, it's been like that. So how can you expect that to be changed overnight? It takes years of, efforts, right? And like I said, even though like Sakyadhita managed to bring back the bhikkhuni ordination in Theravada, bhikkhuni ordination in Vajrayana, I think it takes time for people to accept, to recognize, like the bhikkhunis are equally important or equally helpful for our, sangha. And women's achievements sometimes are sort of like put down sometimes. I have to point out still, I mean, it just takes awareness, a lot of efforts and awareness to overcome that. I mean, it's not just men not supporting women. Women sometimes are not supporting women. It's very funny. I think it's almost unconscious sometimes. Like women are maybe respecting monks more rather than nuns sometimes. It takes awareness. It takes practice.
How can we make the way smooth?
The only way is, again, like through sharing, through education, through, again, awareness and practice. I would say that, conscious efforts in changing the situation. And of course, like, we can only work, among ourselves, and then we share. We cannot really force. Sometimes I think that forcing doesn't get good results. It gets bouncing back only.
Inspiring is the better way.
Inspiring definitely is the better way. And then becoming a good role model. I think that would work better.
As now you are in the country where Buddha was born.
Yes.
You have some suggestions to Nepalese women?
I would like to say that our sisters in Nepal have been doing great. And I think they are, really wonderful pillars of the Dharma too. So just be confident. Don't worry too much, and just move forward. Our Nepal women, I'm sure, have a lot to contribute to the world. And being born in this Buddha's nation, I think we all have a great mission to carry on the Buddha Dharma in order to benefit all sentient beings.
We know you are very concerned, connected with the Buddhist tourism also. What are the chances to promote Buddhist tourism inside the Buddhist countries and in the countries where Buddha's historical places are there, and the countries out of the Buddha land?
Yes. Well, I thought you were going to ask me why. But I think, thank you for that question. If you don't mind me answering why first, because my Sakyadhita, Nepal sisters were asking, why are you in tourism? And especially I know that some friends, some Buddhist friends, they're not so much into the idea of promoting, the Buddha's teachings through tourism. Sometimes they think it's commercialized even. I know I have friends who are against the idea. They think that, that's not serious Buddhist studies. But for me, I feel all opportunities, like I said, can be good opportunities to practice, right? That's one thing. Another thing was because I couldn't help noticing being tourists is the time you feel very relaxed, right? You are ready to learn more. And I was a tourist one time, in China, for example, and I was very eager to learn about the history and then, what's there to learn about this place, right? And the tour guide took us to the monastery, and the tour guide was showing us the some sort of like license, right? And then all the tour guides say, I have taken Buddhist courses, but the information given was like not really accurate. And the tour guide was even thinking of taking people to a place to just shopping items. And that was something I had concerns about too. So I thought, in tourism, if tourism can be, like encouraged, like those tour operators can be encouraged to become bodhisattvas too. If they can be aware that people are relying so much on them to learn, to open their heart and mind to embrace this new place, it can be really good beginning classes for Buddhism as well. That's my secret agenda, actually. But I think like tourism is a way to go, because we know the MICE industry, right? It's a growing industry, especially after the pandemic. People want to go out, people want to travel, and people want to do pilgrimage. The moment you are away from your hometown, the moment you're away from your comfort zone, that to me is in essence spiritual. It's an experience to be away, to learn, right? So if only we can become more aware of this great opportunity to also grow spiritually, that would be very helpful. And in Nepal, you have so many wonderful places, the nature, and then the Everest, the trekking, and then you have all these heritage, very precious heritage. I would say not just Buddhism, also like all other faith traditions as well. I think these are all wonderful. Nepal is a place also where you promote religious harmony, how people, because of different causes and conditions, right? Like His Holiness the Dalai Lama said, you don't have to be a Buddhist to practice, Buddha's teachings. No, that's not a must. You are all, everybody is like doing good in their own belief system, in their own faith tradition. So I think it's good that the people also get exposed to the, all the different sacred sites in Nepal, and getting to learn. Like the other day, we were taken to the Hindu temple in Kathmandu. I saw how, how pious, how sincere, how genuine people wanted to go and pray, maybe for their own good, for the family, but I'm sure that's for the world too. How can you be happy? How can your family be safe if the world is not safe?
Somehow with the positive vibes.
Exactly. You feel the energy, all those, prayers from the saints from the past too, and people's wishes for the better of the world, right?
So we can promote tourism and
Spirituality.
Spirituality,
yes.
And Buddha's teaching also,
yes,
all together.
Exactly, all together. There's no conflict, right? And people have to make a living anyway. People need to sustain as well. So I think as long as we are on the right path, I think we all want to be free from suffering. We all want to be happy. So that would be the, the basic understanding we need to keep in mind.
So what may the tour operators do in this regard?
I'm hoping, this is my personal wish, I think the tour operators need to be more aware of their own very important role. As a Buddhist in the Mahayana Chinese tradition, when I first became a Buddhist, my teacher told me, people in the professions as a teacher and a doctor, they are bodhisattvas. And I would like to promote the idea that tour operators are also bodhisattvas if they become more aware of their role in helping people, their clients. They're so dependent on them, right? So the moment they become aware of their role as a bodhisattva, they also feel they are already doing very great. I have to point out, the tour operators are very helpful. They want to, help arrange for people's, tour. They want people to have a good, positive experience, good time, right? In wherever they are leading them to. But sometimes, of course, our greed, our anger, our ignorance all come into play during the process. It's a journey. This is still a journey still. So tour operators also need to enrich themselves. Need to learn. I would encourage them to also study a bit more, to practice meditation as well. I think that will help them personally and also their professions.
Thank you very much. Would you like to add some more, being Sakyadhita?
Okay, so the Sakyadhita conferences take place every 2 years. So I was engaged in organizing the conferences for 20 years before the pandemic. And actually, right before the pandemic, I also have to be grateful for the tourism expo connection. My husband, Dr. Frank Tien, and I were in Malaysia for some tourism expo and also for the international associations meeting. We got invited by the tourism board of Eastern Malaysia, Sarawak, Kuching. They invited us over for a site inspection. They are interested in the Sakyadhita conference. So the two of us went there. us as their guests, and they were very nice to us. And then so many officers, government officers, and the tour operators came to speak to us. And eventually, they even helped the tourism board there, help us secure the largest funding to bring in a Buddhist women's conference in Cochin, Sarawak, for which we are very grateful. Unfortunately, however, pandemic, broke out, so we were not able to do the conference. It was meant to be the 17th Sakyadhita conference there after our gathering in Australia. So the 17th conference had to go online virtually, and last year it was the 18th conference in Korea, because our Korean sisters had to do it. They were able to do it last year. So next year we'll continue the 19th, and very happily to announce it's going to take place in Cochin still. And we'll be there as supporters, and you are all welcome. We also welcome brothers like you too. Please do not feel that, please do not feel that, only women go. My husband, Dr. Frank, always go there and support. And he always said that, we want more brothers to come and support and see how women run conferences. The Sakyadhita conferences are very special, very unique. And not only does it empower women and then give women voices, and also you're going to see like a very different flow of energy, and how women work together harmoniously. I think that can be a good role model too.
Being a Buddhist media, how can we go together with the mission, or in such missions, how a Buddhist media can join to support Buddhist teaching and the missions like Sakyadhita?
Thank you for raising that question. I think you're already doing great as a Buddhist media, the unique one, running 24 hours in Nepal, the only one, right? And of course, that media is very important these days. Everything goes through media. And so being in Buddhist media, for example, you can also help if you wish to support Sakyadhita conferences. Come with the Sakyadhita Nepal sisters. I think the next time when we hold a conference in Cochin, Sarawak, maybe you should join our Sakyadhita Nepal sisters and come, and then also to shoot some parts of the conference that you feel can also help spread the positive message and to help empower your Buddhist sisters around the world. I think that will be very much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Whether we could join or not, it's always the motto of this institution to propagate Buddhism, giving Buddhist teachings and documenting the Buddhist cultures, everything in every yana, which are practiced all over the world so far.
Exactly, all the yanas, and sometimes just say Buddha yana, right? We are all students of the Buddha. So, and we are all interconnected anyway.
Dr. Chang, thank you very much for sharing your very important time with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to have this conversation. Thank you.
Okay, let's join with the mission of Sakyadhita in empowering women, not only women, together with men also. It's for humanity, it's for development of the world and world peace. Thank you very much for watching us. Have a good time. Bhavatu Sarva Mangalam.